Hi. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be able to play an instrument well enough to teach yourself songs? Well, if so, you're in luck, because today I will be teaching you how to read sheet music for the piano, as well as how to place your hands properly on the keyboard. My name is Connor Gavin, and I've been playing the piano since I was 8 years old. The goal of this video today is to make you, the viewer, proficient at reading piano sheet music and disciplined in your hand placement on the keyboard. My hopes are that you can apply the skills learned today to your favorite music around the world. The first thing I will be teaching you about today is proper hand placement. Now you might be asking yourself why this is so important, and I'll tell you. Hand placement is very important to piano playing because it allows you to have much more control over your volume, your flow, and your hits on the notes themselves. If you don't have good hand placement, you'll find that the music you are playing isn't flowing very well, it doesn't sound neat at all, and so it's important to take what I say to heart. Now, moving into actually placing your hands, I'll show you on this makeshift keyboard up here. Now, you're going to want to put your right thumb on middle C. Now, middle C is located in the direct middle of the keyboard, hence the name middle C. It is located to the left of these two black keys up here. It is this white key right here. Now, what you're going to want to do is let the rest of your four fingers slide on these succeeding white notes right here and rest lightly on them. So that's your right hand, the 5 white notes right here starting with middle C. Your left hand starts an octave, what's called an octave lower. An octave is 8 notes. So if you jump 8 notes to the left, you'll hit another C over here, and we'll discuss notes later. So you put your left pinky on this C, and then just like your right hand, you scale them up, the succeeding white notes. Now, it's important to keep your hands and fingers light. Use your fingertips when you play, because if your hands are heavy, you'll run into the problems as explained earlier with improper hand placement. So now that we know the importance of hand placement, let's dive into reading some music. Now, the first thing that I want to tell you about reading music is that every line of sheet music consists of 2 layers or clefs. There's the treble clef and there's the bass clef. The treble clef represents all notes that are higher pitched than middle C. The bass clef represents all notes that are lower than middle C. Now, the note sequence starting with middle C and how we get to that other C goes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then it starts over with C again. For the treble clef, middle C right here, as explained over here, is actually on a dashed line beneath the staff lines. Now, all notes in the piano universe lie either on a staff line or in between 2 of them. And so middle C is on one, the succeeding note, D, is going to be in a gap, and then the one after that is on a line, gap, and that's the pattern. So yeah, moving on to the bass clef, it's very similar to the treble clef, but instead of starting on the dashed line beneath those staff lines, it starts on the second gap from the bottom. That's where that lower C, as established over here, starts. Now it has the same patterns. It goes line, gap, and it also follows the same note structure, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C again. So the only subtle difference in reading the right hand versus your left hand is the staff locations of the notes. So that's the one thing that you want to keep in mind. The next thing that I want to talk about is dynamics. Now, dynamics simply represent volume control, okay? Now, you might be asking yourself, why is volume so important to music? Well, I'll tell you. Music is an art form, and like all other art forms, it's subjective to its own degree. Now, as a musician, you want to separate yourself from others, and you want to establish a sense of mood so your audience can relate to you. Volume is probably the biggest way to do that. It allows you to create a mood and make your songs unique from others. Now, as you read your sheet music and you go down through the lines, you'll see 2 letters scattered throughout all your songs. Those letters are P and F. P represents piano, and F represents forte. Piano is soft, forte is loud. So when you see these letters scattered throughout your sheet music, you're going to want to pay attention to them and play with the according dynamics so you establish the right mood for your audience or for yourself. Moving into our conclusion, let's recap on everything that we've learned today. Remember number 1, hand placement. You want to keep your fingers light, and you want to start with your left pinky on low C and your right pinky on middle C. Also remember the subtle differences between reading a treble clef versus a bass clef. Another thing to remember is the dynamics, as just stated before. The dynamics are the cherry on top, but they allow you to relate to your audience more than any other aspect of your music. Some tips I have for beginning piano players are to start with one hand at a time. It makes it a lot easier to learn just the treble clef and then just the bass clef, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter which way you go, but it doesn't overwhelm your mind with information. Similarly to that topic, it's an awesome idea to divide your songs you teach yourself into sections, maybe a page or a half page at a time, because like that situation, it's very easy to overwhelm yourself with information. So you want to present yourself with enough information where you can control and practice it, but not too much where it overwhelms you. It's important to take breaks, just like anything else you do, and the most important tip is to simply enjoy. Pick songs you like to listen to, like to play, that'll make the process a lot more enjoyable. The sources for this video today were takelessons.com, dummies.com, pianoplay.com, and myfirstrollingpiano.com. Thank you for listening and enjoy your day.